So there may be people tuning into this Zoom meeting that feel like they're listening to somebody, that they're sitting down or they're lying down or whatever they're doing. They've joined a meeting and they're listening to someone speak, making a suggestion or communicating something. It can be that that sense of being somebody can fall away. It's not a goal of this. It's not a goal of this communication. It's possible that the sense of feeling like a contracted, separate self can dissipate. And that's what's being suggested here, is that that sense of being separate self is artificial. It's not actually real. All the time you feel like a person, an individual. There's a energetic contraction, and there's the world out there, and there's you. There's life, and there's my life. And there's a sense in that having a life, that you are moving in time, moving forward, and the past is behind you. This is the present. You're moving, and through your own volition and your hard work, that you're going to arrive somewhere. That everything that's happening to you in your life is as a result of choices you've made, things you've done, things you've not done. And that there's other people in your life. You have relationships, you have friendships, you have. So there's this sense of being a person. It goes taken for granted. It goes unquestioned. It's the dominant perception in the world, is that you are a person. There is separation. You have a life, and you can make of it what you will. All the while there's that feeling of being separate and having a life. There's a yearning for something that you can't quite put your finger on. There's a searching, there's a sensitivity to a lesser or greater degree, that perception, that reality of being a person and having a life and having a job and having a wife or having a husband and having kids and having friendships and having and living in that real world, that there's a sensitivity, that there's something not quite fulfilling with that. And that sensitivity can be strong or can be weaker. You could be happy in your life or unhappy in your life, and it goes under all of that. It doesn't really matter what's appearing to happen in your life, because there's a continual invitation to see that it's not your life and there's no you. And that's what's going to be talked about here. That's what's going to be shared. That sense of being a person is artificial. And all the while that you felt like a person living in the real, that there was a continual invitation out of that into simply just what appears to be happening. Just this. All the time you feel like a separate person who has a life, that closed loop of me. Nothing within that loop will satisfy. Nothing within that circle will do anything but feed on itself. And what's looked for all the while is simply what appears to be happening. So what was searched for has appeared to hide by already being everything. It's just this, just aliveness, just energy. And it's totally beyond understanding or knowing. It's the separate person that lives in a loop of their own knowing. So this is shared from nothing, from no thing, and questions come from no thing. And it's really not about any answer to any questions, or it's not about getting anything or knowing anything. It's an energetic communication, and what's been said can resonate and does resonate. And that's what this is about. It's about that resonating, that energy. It's not about getting anything. Only the person can get something, can understand this. People can understand this, and it absolutely makes no difference whatsoever. So if there's a question or something to be shared, it's there to be shared. You can't go wrong and you can't go right. William, I see your hand up. I did see your hand up.
Oh, I forgot to unmute it.
Oh, you've been talking away to yourself there, have you? You were probably saying Kenneth is giving me less than usual here. I know he usually gives me sweet FA, but he's really not.
I thought I'd unmuted it. Are you okay anyway?
Yeah.
Great. So for the last maybe 2 hours, when I knew I was going to come onto this Zoom meeting, I've been feeling just intense anxiety. I guess that's the threat that the person feels, that it's just feels that this is a threat to it because it won't survive.
Okay, that's what's happening then. That's what's appearing to happen.
And what I was going to ask, well, I don't know if it's asking or a comment. It seems obvious to me, and I could be wrong, but I think that anxiety that comes up is all connected to the sense of being a person. And I can't help but have the impression that that anxiety would no longer arise if there was no longer the sense of being a person there. And obviously connected to that is the hope that sooner or later the sense of being a separate person is going to fall away, and there'll no longer be that kind of intense discomfort that comes from the anxiety of, I don't know, just feeling like threatened.
The anxiety is it already. So whatever's happening, appearing to happen, is already it. There's no individual that's going to fall away because there's no individual to begin with. When there's a sense of being separate, the energy of being separate is to pull in comfort and push away discomfort. So anything that's not pleasurable and comfortable is rejected by the person and pushed away in some way, shape, or form. And so there's this continual sense that, well, that was it when I was, in the zone. I was going for a walk, and the sun was going down, and it was just this beautiful sense. And then I came back, and the kids started shouting at me, and blah blah blah, and that was horrible. And that wasn't it, and the other thing was it. Just random, whatever. Or I was joining a Zoom, and a sense of anxiety came up, and that anxiety couldn't. Maybe if I wasn't feeling like a separate person, that anxiety wouldn't arise. But that's what the person does, is continually pull in one and push away the other. And actually what's looked for is whatever appears to be happening. So when that sense of being a separate person is no longer, then it doesn't matter actually whether it's nice or not nice, if it's pleasurable or unpleasant. It's just what appears to be happening, and that's it. There's nothing that isn't it.
And obviously the person discriminates and gives value to different things, like, okay, that felt nice, so that's, I enjoy that, that has more value than feeling uncomfortable. Would you say that when that sense of being a person apparently falls away, there's no longer any more value in one thing than another?
Of course, yeah. There's just what ever appears to happen. There's no value in anything. Nothing has any value. It's just energy. Special things being special and having value only come from the mind of the person who feels separate to everything. The dualism of special, not special, all emanates from that sense of being a separate person. So that all collapses, and there's just whatever appears to be happening, which is just energy, which is nothing being everything. Everything is nothing. So it's all energy. So, and actually nothing is happening. This is nothing appearing to happen.
And also,
you don't get better. That's better nothing now than that other nothing.
and also, the experience of being someone is that these things are happening to me, and so therefore I suffer because of these things, whether it's anxiety or whatever it is.
Mm.
I'm assuming or asking, when that sense of being someone no longer appears anymore, there's no longer the sense that these things are happening to me, whether they're pleasurable or unpleasurable. So there's no longer somebody suffering or feeling like they're gaining.
There's just what appears to be happening. Some of it could be very unpleasant, and that would be what would appear to be happening. It couldn't be any other way. Like the idea that, you know, what the mind does of the individual, the apparent individual, is it turns this into some carrot that, you know, when you're not there anymore, or you don't feel like a separate person, then, you know, nothing's going to bother you anymore, really. There's going to be no anxiety anymore. There's going to be no this or that. It turns it into this another goal, really. It's not describable, and yet it's incredibly ordinary. It's just whatever appears to happen. It's just whatever appears to be happening. That's already it. And there's already nobody there. There is no separate person anywhere.
But the appearance of being a separate person seems to happen.
Yeah, that's in what appears to happen. There appears to be individuals. Not from this perspective, there doesn't appear to be individuals. There's bodies who report themselves to be separate individuals with choice and control over their lives. And this question also arises then because there clearly is looking for something, and from here it's obviously that there's nothing to get. There's just this is what's being looked for. So a question comes from no thing and an answer comes from nothing, and it's heard as it's heard.
The way that, what I struggle with about that is that if there's already no one here or anywhere, it seems to me, and it might just be my assumption, part of what you're saying about this sounding like a carrot, is that there's certain things that seem to appear when there's a sense of being an individual, whether that's things like anxiety or neurosis or tension or, you know, certain neurotic patterns, whereas it seems to me from what I've heard that when there's no longer the sense of being someone, a lot of that falls away. And I know
it can do, yeah, but that, you know, it's not describable. Like any effort you make there to try and understand, or any person to try to understand or imagine what it's like, it's complete nonsense. It's not imaginable by the person, and yet it's incredibly ordinary because it's already just this. There already is no individual there. But what happens is that energy of feeling like a separate person just continually rejects what is in favor of what might be, and continually ignores what's been looked for, as the energy of me just continually goes around in a closed loop. And that it's not a goal of this Zoom meeting for that to stop, because it's only an appearance. It's just what appears to be happening. And this is just heard as it's heard then. Nothing actually happens.
So for the character, Kenneth, there's no longer any kind of fantasies about becoming anything.
There's just what appears to be. There's just what appears to be happening. It's not describable. But it's clearly, this is clearly boundless and whole and unknowable, indescribable oneness, if you want to put that name on it. And there's nothing other than this. There's nothing better than this. I'll go and take another question, William. There's a couple of hands up here.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Okay. I'm struggling a bit with these contacts, so probably have them in too long. So forgive my squinting. Zoltan.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Kenneth.
Hey.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering whether you can elaborate a bit more on the resonance.
Yeah, I mean, it's really energetic. The whole thing is just totally energetic. For the person, it's really about knowing and understanding. So if someone feels like an individual and they join this meeting and they hear what's being suggested, that this is boundless, this is oneness, this is unconditional love, you know, that sounds fantastic, and I would like that. So the person would try and know that. Then they want to know that what's being suggested. They want to know it, and they want to have it, and they want to integrate it into their lives. It's not like that at all. That's how the apparent individual operates. It's completely energetic. And when this is heard, the closest word that I can come to, and many other people, I think, who are communicating, where there's a clear communication, is resonance. It resonates. It just resonates. It's just very, very obvious. More obvious than obvious. It's just so, it just hums. It's impossible to describe, but this realization for nobody that what was looked for is always just, has always been and always is just simply what appears to be happening. And that's not graspable or understandable or knowable. And
I suppose you use the word energetic for lack of a better word, because energetic seems to be a thing to me.
Oh yeah. No, it's not in that way. The reason I gravitate towards using the word energy is it's not a thing to most people. It's not conceptual, or it's not like, you know, but it is energy. Yeah, all there is energy, which is like what people perceive as a solid, real thing is actually just energy. You know, that's been revealed or shown on a quantum basis. Quantum physics, physicists have shown that door there is just energy dooring, you know, and that's how that's pointed towards or described. But in relation to the resonance also, so what's been suggested is resonating, but can also, there can be the individual, the apparent individual is hearing this and doesn't want what's being said, and tries to know it or understand it or reject it in some way, which is fine. That's just what appears to be happening. So it's very common for there to be a very kind of strong resonance, or some sort of resonance to what's being said, and then at the same time a kind of pushing away from this, a rejection of it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that for the person there is nothing to be gained here.
Yeah,
there's nothing on offer, and there's no, but like this resonance thing sounds like a bait to me. So now,
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no
you have
way of
given
saying
me a
it.
reason to attend these meetings because yeah, I want to resonate. I want to
Oh
have the
yeah, but there's no way of any communicating anything without it sounding like a carrot to the person. So if the person said, "Well, that sounds like bait to me," well, then that's what's happening then.
yeah. I took the
You know, you can turn it. The person will either turn it into something or not. The individual's not being spoken to here anyway, so it's just going to be heard as it's heard, and that's unconditional love. That's perfect. If someone apparently tunes in here and said this is a load of bullshit, then that's what's happening. It's a load of bullshit. There's nothing to defend here. There's nothing to, you know, there's no right or wrong.
yeah. Okay, so I'm just here, and
Oh, you're not. You're not.
no, yeah.
You're not
But
actually. It's incredible. You're not actually attending a Zoom meeting. You're not speaking there. You didn't just speak there.
yeah, but there's this
You're not
body.
speaking. You're not speaking.
There is this body here, like bodying or
Yeah, that's all there is. Yeah, that's all there ever is. Anywhere. There's just speaking. The person then thinks I'm speaking. And then there's hearing, and the person thinks I'm hearing. And the person thinks they're sitting, and the person thinks, well, I'm sitting. It's me that's sitting here. There's this continual addition of me to everything. And everything that's pouring through the senses almost pours through this artificial me. So everything that's seen is seen. It's me seeing, it's me hearing, it's me touching, it's me tasting, it's me smelling. And it's incredible that there is no me. There never has been.
and there is no
It's
way
just
to stop
smelling.
it.
No,
There's
it's
no-
not
no
even, it
way
hasn't even
to stop
started.
the illusion.
It hasn't even started. So
Yeah.
it can't be stopped.
I mean, it feels
Because
real.
it's an appearance. It's not actually real. The person's living in the real. So the person is in this half alive reality. Everything is everything is real because they're real. Subject, object, everything is an object, everything is a thing, everything is real, and everything is not seen as it actually is then.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.